Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mindful Mess. This is your host, Zoe speaking, and today we're gonna talk about heartbreak in friendships. Because I've dealt with a lot of heartbreaks in friendships. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, hope you are doing well. And if you're listening, I also really hope you're doing well. But yeah, let's talk about some toxic friends and maybe being one yourself. So to start this journey in my friendship journey, I'm gonna talk about me as a friend first. I'm not gonna name anyone in this episode because I don't hate anyone. I accept everyone how they are, even though they could have hurt me. It comes from a place that they need to work on, and that's not my place to be like, oh, you're a piece of shit. No, it doesn't work like that. I still want the best for them, even though they not necessarily wanted the best for me at the time. But that's how it is, that's how life goes. And if we just keep on hating and keep trying to hate on a person to make ourselves feel better, that's not a healthy way, because you should heal yourself by also appreciating the other person and how that person treated you. Because often it's just because they are not the right person for you, and that mismatch thingy can end up in a really toxic friendship you and your friend need to get out of to heal together, because we all grow and we all change, and that's a really important thing to keep in mind, because we are all human beings who change and who find new passions and who like this more or that more. And it can happen that in that moment when you are changing, your current friendships maybe aren't the friendships that make you happy, because there are too many differences, and that's okay. That's really okay, and that's something we should accept, that it is okay to not be friends with someone, even if you want it so hard to be friends with someone. And I know this feeling. We should be like, okay, maybe in the future, but right now it is way too much energy for me to put in a friendship that is toxic, or it doesn't have to be toxic, isn't for this moment. That isn't right at this time because of our differences and maybe our different points of view in life, which also can lead to friendship breakups. So I've been to 3 friendship breakups the last 4 or 5 years. Wait, no, 4. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, that sounds really sad, but I've been through 4 friendships, friends groups, and it tore me apart. I've been really deep, so if you are easily triggered by mental health or really dark thoughts, maybe this episode is not for you. You can listen to another one if you would like, but this will contain some more sensitive stuff. So I just wanted to warn you before heading into my stories. So the first story of me having a friendship heartbreak was when I was 16, 17. I kinda made the memory disappear, because that's how I cope with things. I try to forget, but I'm an overthinker, so not that easy. But yeah, I was 16, 17, and I was in a high school that had only the first 4 years. In Belgium, we have 6 years of high school, and the first 4 years, then I was about 15, 16 to transfer to another school for another 2 years. So how this started, sometimes it's really difficult to see where things went wrong or where things needed to change, because it just happened, and it's really sad to think about it, but sometimes you grow apart. But yeah, me and this girl were really close friends, and we had like this little friend group of like 5 people or something, so not too big. And we went on a trip together that summer. We got really wasted and had some weird stories, which I might include in another episode, because this is not focusing on that. But I really loved her as a friend. I really appreciated her. So I think that friendship breakup was the hardest one for me, because I didn't see it coming. There wasn't any toxicity. But then we started school, and I was in another class than her, and we started drifting apart. But we were planning like our 16th birthday party together. But you know the feeling when you know you are drifting apart, but you are so against it that you keep pushing yourself in it, and at the end it's you who breaks, especially when all the other friends stay together and you're the only one who's not in the friend group anymore. That hurts the most, because it just hurts a lot to see other people being close to each other and knowing that you were in that group. But we grew apart, and then I started crying every day to go to school, because I literally felt like my heart broke in two. Like when I saw them, I literally had pain on my chest, and I had to go to the bathroom to cry, because I had no one at school, so I didn't want to cry in front of everyone, because then people would start asking questions and answering questions. It's awful when you're going through something. Hopefully I don't do too much oh my god, I just did it again. But that is what happens. And a year later, we had this party after our exams. We always went to the city, and we partied there in the local cafes. And I drank a lot, because at that point I was really deep. I was not doing well mentally. My mom had to really wake me up and be like, okay, I think you need to go to a psychologist, because this is not healthy for you anymore. But I didn't, because I was afraid that my psychologist would discover all the deepest secrets of me, the deepest secrets that I have. And I'm a really social person in some way, but also really introverted. And if I get triggered, then I shut down and I move to the back of a group and I don't speak. I won't say what's going on. But yeah, I was doing really bad at that time, so I started drinking and doing these tequila shots, and then buying a bottle of vodka and drinking that, which ended up with me puking in the bathroom of a bar, and the people from the bar bringing me water. I'm really sorry for that, for the people working there. So I ended up going outside, and I was just crying. I was alone sitting outside. I went there because I had some friends, but it was just weird. It was more out of tradition that I was there, and I just started drinking because I was emotional to forget stuff. But if you are an emotional drinker, you understand that then you just only get more emotional, and that's what happened. So I started crying outside, and the one friend that was the closest to me, that I had my friendship breakup with, came outside and was like, "Are you okay? Like, what are you doing? Are you feeling good?" And I was like, "Look, I really want to," oh my god, I don't want to get emotional. It has been years, but it's still something that hasn't completely healed me. Like, I haven't completely healed. And I was like, I literally feel like shit. I don't feel good. I don't want to live. If I would jump under the next train, no one would even care. That's how deep I was, how bad my mental health was, and how I was feeling. It feels difficult to say this out loud, but I just didn't want to be here anymore. And she was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but I knew our friendship was over." So I was like, why am I even saying this to her, hoping she would maybe come back to me? I don't know, opening up about the situation. And then the next day I got a text message from her saying, "Are you okay?" And I texted back saying, "Look, I don't think I would have actually jumped under a train, but that was actually how I was feeling and how sad I was and still am." And then I just got a text back, "Well, if that's what I was worried about." And then I just broke even more. And yeah, that's my first friendship heartbreak story. It's a pretty normal one, not a crazy one. We grew apart, but seeing the whole friend group staying together even till this day, and you not being part of it anymore, is really hard, especially with social media and stuff, and Facebook and Messenger, because I am guilty of going to the old group messages and looking at the pictures of the group together, which is a really, really unhealthy thing to do, actually. That's not healthy at all. That's not a healthy healing. So don't do that, please. Just don't do that, because you get in a really sad mood. But that was my first friendship heartbreak. So up to the next one. So the next one was, I got more angry than actually being sad with that one, because it's really mean to say this, but maybe some kind of rebound friendship, because I got out of the other friend group and then I got in this new friend group, but I don't know, I adapted to them just to be part of a group. So they weren't actually the friends that I felt best with, and they didn't really have the same view on life and the same passions, which made it a little bit more difficult to talk about deep stuff. But they were sweet. We went to parties together, but I felt like it was really surface level, and I'm a person that needs a person to talk to in a deep way. I like to have deep conversations rather than just surface level conversations. So that was a bit more difficult for me. So I knew that this friendship wouldn't last, but the way that it ended was really mean of them and really childish of them. But we were still young and we still had to learn, all of us. So I don't blame anyone. It's just important to grow. And even though you were a bad friend at the time, because I've been a bad friend, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I was always the perfect friend that people threw away. No, I've been a toxic friend. I've been a bad friend. But yeah, then later that year, I threw my own 16th birthday party, and they came. My mom and my dad rented this place, and they went and bought some sausages or something. and some... Oh, I made sangria. So good in the summer with some fresh fruit. Really recommend. But I invited around 30 to 50 people. So not too big, but just enough. And they were more family members than friends. So that explains the situation a little bit. But yeah, that was an awful night. Even though my dad was pretty drunk and was doing his weird dances. But yeah, that was a really awful night because they didn't even stay till the food was ready. And that to me was really disrespectful towards my parents because they bought all the food and they just left. But yeah, they gave me a box of dirt with the little orange coins, while I gave money for all the other people's presents, and they got like these nice shoes or this voucher for a store or this... I know they got nice gifts. And we had some stuff going on and there was some tension, but I still was like, well, I'm still gonna invite you guys because you've been there for me when other people weren't, and I do appreciate that. And then they gave me a box of dirt. Even, like, I know there was tension, but you don't do that. I know it's funny sometimes, but it wasn't funny to me. It was really hurtful. So I went to the bathroom and cried there on my 16th birthday party. But through that party, I really got to know my close friends and who the people were that are actually there for me and still are. If you're listening to this, you know who you are. Yeah. Then there I got to know new, really close friends, but then I had another friendship heartbreak. So let's go to the next heartbreak. Yes. So the next heartbreak was with a really close friend of mine, and out of nowhere, which made me angry because I was like, just talk to me. But it's okay if, like, I understand that some people have more difficulties with communicating, and that's something they can work on, but they can make mistakes, even though I got hurt badly. But yeah, the thing was that she was a really close friend of mine. We went on trips together and stuff, and I was just sitting in the sofa at my dad's place when I got a message, "Oh, you're a really bad friend." And I was like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand where this is coming from. Please let me know what's going on, because this was out of the blue. I was like, I was breathing, my heart was pounding, and I was like, what did I do wrong? I want to know what I did wrong. And the thing was that I talked too much about my boyfriend and about my problems, which is a weird reason to me. But yeah, the talk about my boyfriend I could understand, but the first thing I told her was when I got together with my boyfriend was, when I'm one of those girls that keeps talking about their boyfriend, just tell me, like, bitch, you're one of them. But she never mentioned it, so I never thought there was a problem. I never thought about it. So I found it quite sad that she didn't just tell me when she thought, like, okay, I'm happy for you that you have a boyfriend, but you don't need to mention him every 5 minutes. And about my problems, I think it's normal to talk to your friends about your problems. So I don't really understand that reason. And then I got angry because I was like, I've literally been a good friend to you. I always want the best for you. And then she started coming up with reasons that didn't even make sense, but I won't be naming them all because I don't know. it's also things from her life, so I don't want to put her life on this podcast if she doesn't want to, because that's not my place. But yeah, then I started going in self-defense, which I'm not proud of, because if I go in self-defense, when I'm really hurt, I go in defense mode and I stop my emotions and I become a real bitch. And I know that's not a good way to deal with stuff, but I'm also a person that needs to learn and needs to like just learn how to deal with situations. But then, yeah, things just escalated and we were like, okay, sorry, but this is not working anymore. But it did hurt because she didn't tell me earlier, but she did tell other people about the problem she had with me, but not me. And that's something that bothers me. I'd rather have you saying it to my face than behind my back and then coming to me when it's already too late. But that happened. I tried an effort a second time to be like, okay, do you want to go to dance classes again to start to kind of fix our friendship again? Because I want to fix friendships that I have, even though I deeply know that they aren't meant to be fixed. But she didn't want to, and then I was like, well, okay, I think I know this friendship is over now. And that also really hurt. So I was like, okay, next friendships I really have to pay attention to maybe red flags, or listen to myself when I talk to them and listen if I'm doing something wrong, because at that point I was like, well, it's just me, I'm an awful person, even though I really want the best for people. Sometimes I might not show it the right way, but I deeply mean want the best for my friends, and I will be really protective over them. But yeah, that's my friendship breakup. How I also am a toxic friend sometimes is because I am a really sensitive person, and if I get hurt, I shut down and I stop talking, and I hate confrontation, so I don't talk about the problem, but I really should talk about it. I think we can all jump in the same wagon boat thing on this one, because it's a really difficult thing to learn. I want to learn, but it's really hard because I'm so afraid of disappointing people because of all the friendship heartbreaks I had. So it really had an impact on me as a person. So that's pretty hard to learn because, for example, one thing that happened when studying abroad was I broke a cup of one of my roommates and I just started crying. I had a mental breakdown. I'm just so afraid of losing people again, or them letting me, throwing me away again, which leads into me being afraid of opening up to people, because sometimes it's just hard. It's just really hard to open up to people. I'm a talker. Anyone who knows me will be like, but you're so social. I know I'm a talker. I know I'm quite social, but if you really know me, you know that I put up a shield, fake it till you make it to the extreme. If I'm friendly, I'm genuinely friendly. Don't doubt that. But to actually let the curtain fall, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of time for me. I've got to know two really lovely people on my exchange studies, Emmy and Hannah. I love you guys. But they are amazing, and then it's so freaking sad that they don't live close to me. But we had a FaceTime call last night, so that's really nice that we can keep up that way. But it's really hard having abroad friendships. People who have to say goodbye to people all the time. You are a strong person, because I am awful at it. But I do feel like the older you get, the more that you find your people, and the more that you find your true friends. So yeah, I think I want to not really end this podcast yet, because I do have some stuff to say. Just don't be too harsh on yourself, but try to explain your feelings, if not directly. Okay, texting is not the best way to explain your feelings, because you can misunderstand text, because you can feel like, oh, this is like passive aggressive, while the other person doesn't mean it that way at all. So be careful with people in general, because we are all sensitive, we are all human beings that have feelings. So you can hurt other people's feelings and they can hurt yours. But you should appreciate each other, and I still appreciate all the people I've met throughout my life, and I wish the best for them. But it just wasn't meant to be, and everything happens for a reason. Okay, I kind of believe in that though. Like, everything happens for a reason. If you look back on your life, just sit and think for like 2 seconds. If you look back on your life, you are in this place right now, wherever you are, because of that. Because of your whole journey, your whole life journey you had, and all the decisions you had to make, all the heartbreaks, all the breakups, all the moves, parent situations, personal situations, dealing with school choices, all these little things, all these little pieces out of this world, this huge like planet Earth, they fit together to form you as a person. And that's something really special. I believe that's actually something that is worth thinking about, because even if your heart is broken at that very moment, there is still glue in the store, and I don't think they will run out of glue that fast. So we can still fix our heart, even though the glue doesn't dry that quick. This is really a big metaphor, but we are strong human beings, and if there's anything wrong or anything going on in your life and you don't really have someone to talk about, please contact me. You can find me on Instagram at MINDFULLMESS podcast, because I'm here for you guys. To whoever is listening, I love you guys. You are really appreciated. And thank you for tuning in. And I will hear you or see you in the next episode of Mindfulness. Goodbye, guys.